I'm not a teacher myself, I'm rather a researcher. And I feel obliged somehow to talk a little about our project EUROSUNMED, which has to do somehow with the education as well. EUROSUNMED stands for Euro-Mediterranean Cooperation on Research and Training in Sun-Based Renewable Energies, and coming from Strasbourg, which is, as you know, a city it's a Mediterranean city in a way. Yeah, I mean, EUROSUNMED is indeed, the goal is to make a kind of bridge between EU and MPC. This is why all we are here. And we're focusing indeed on collaboration at academic and industrial levels in order to promote the research, education, and here we are in the renewable energies with the idea of having jobs and business at the end. This is actually the main goal behind all this story, actually. It's a 4 years project, and we are 18 partners, 9 from EU and 9 from MPC, mainly from Morocco and Egypt. Okay, so what we would like to do there is developing technologies, as you know, technologies which are somehow used for Europe, not 100% completely fitting the climate in the south, especially the very high temperatures and the dust and so on. So we're developing photovoltaic materials, concentrated solar power, and also thinking about the grid integration, which is in the countries themselves and how these are connected. It's also a way, and it has to do also with education and research, is to really make a strong networking between the different partners there. There's plenty of exchange of students, senior researchers, engineers. So far, we had something like 100 people who moved back and forth from Europe to the south and vice versa. And the third one, which is dealing actually with the education, is the dissemination. And we do that through summer schools, workshops, and conferences. And to make that in a perspective, so far we have had something like 1,000 students who really participated to our summer schools and workshops, and we're very happy for that. So education is okay, no problem. I mean, this is to increase the knowledge. But what is important afterwards, part of it is to find jobs. And I would like to share that with you, this picture, which is showing somehow it's coming from IRENA, Renewable Energy and Jobs Annual Review 2015, which is showing that the renewable energies are really the way to go in terms of jobs, since 7.7 million of jobs has been created in 2014. And most of them were about 2.5 are on solar photovoltaics. This is actually why we also focused on that. But the point which is important is this one, actually. You see that the job created in renewable energies are spread in many parts of the countries in the world, but not that much in Africa. I mean, especially in North Africa, which is a shame somehow, where the part of the renewable energies can be used and can be, especially the solar energy should be there. But to get such kind of numbers, we need a really good education, and I would like to focus only on the last sentence, which is increasing collaboration at the academic and industrial levels, and the education is part of it. I'm not coming back to the different points which have been raised concerning how the share of renewable energy is planned in Morocco and Egypt, for instance, which is very encouraging and very interesting. What is important is the point here, which is why this is how actually we should do for the education. And mainly, from what I understood so far, there's a lack of knowledgeable staff. And this number should be increased a lot, especially trained staff in technicians, engineers, researchers, knowledgeable at the latest, this is important, technologies and their implementation. This is the key point. I hope you share that with me. So the actions behind that. So as you see, the first one is when it comes to the education properly, and at the maybe bachelor, master, and PhD students, is improving the existing curricula. It's not necessary to really retransform everything. There are very good already running programs, and in different countries we have to take that as a starting point, and improving when it's needed existing curricula at the partner in higher education institutes, of course namely in universities, but there are also engineering schools and so on. This is the dissemination of projects. It's important. I mean, it's good to do things, but it's also good to make it known by the others. So disseminating project results, best practices in forms of workshops and publications. This is also added value for the exchange. Yeah, that's. I'd like to thank you for your attention.